Well, I have a bear in a tree, apparently.
There we go. Bad news bears. A black bear decides to make its napping spot in a tree in a Madison man's backyard. But first, did last year's porch collapse change the vibe at this year's Mifflin block party? Find out from students. That's all coming up here at 10.
I bought a bottle of Galliano wine down on Bassett Street and just came up here. There was about 1/10 this number of people, and this was hippie kingdom, and it was political speeches all day. It's a party now.
Of course, nowadays, UW's Mifflin Street Block Party does look a lot different. The event started as a protest of the Vietnam War in the late 1960s and was used as a community fundraiser for various causes before fully becoming a block party. And the Mifflin Street Block Party has only gotten rowdier over the years, like last year, when 3 people were injured when a balcony collapsed. But as our Braden Ross saw today, past dangerous situations haven't stopped the party.
My sister and her group of friends were taking a picture together, and all of a sudden I heard a crack, and all of a sudden the deck collapsed on this house over here.
This time last year, 3 people were injured when the balcony behind me collapsed on Mifflin Street, but that clearly hasn't deterred anyone from coming out again to the Mifflin Street Block Party.
After last year's balcony collapse left 2 people hospitalized, some of this year's partiers are a little bit wary.
I'm not going on the second floor balcony for sure.
I don't think I'm going to go on balconies just because I'm a little bit nervous about it. And I think last year really solidified that for me.
Mifflin Street resident Charlie Bitter says he knows the danger of treacherous balconies all too well.
My roommates upstairs were the ones who broke their back last year, so we're all very cautious and very careful on what we're doing this year.
He says this year they're not taking any chances.
We had the fire department come by this morning to make sure that we didn't have anyone on our porch because it's considered condemned by the city. We put caution tape around the outside. It's been an interesting day. So far, so good. We've been able to keep everyone off our porch.
City officials yesterday urging partiers to use caution when it comes to balconies.
Many of these structures are nearing 100 years old. The balconies may have been replaced over time. But when you have a lot of people crowded on a balcony that might all be jumping and dancing to the same song, you're creating a load that is not necessarily designed or intended to be supported by that structure.
But others say the party must go on.
I will be going on the balconies. That's the risk you take with Mifflin. Either you're here or you're not, and you're gotta be here. If you're here, you're on a balcony, you know? On Mifflin Street, Braden Ross, News 3 Now.
And according to Madison police, by midday, the crowd surged to well over 10,000 people. As of 6 p.m., 44 people had been arrested, with most of them arrested for alcohol-related offenses. 3 people were taken to the Dane County Jail, including an adult male who had a stolen gun in his backpack. Authorities will release more information about these arrests on Monday. Around 200 officers worked the event. All right, let's get a look at your first warm forecast right now with meteorologist Jacob Montesano. A little bit chillier today than it was yesterday.
Yeah, it's pretty chilly right now. We do have a little bit of a wind, but it's not too bad. Compared to yesterday, though, we certainly are a lot colder. Here's a look at the current temperatures across the area. 41 right now in Madison. Some parts of our area have already dropped into the 30s, and I expect our entire area to drop into the 30s during the overnight hours. As I mentioned, we're a lot colder than yesterday. Here's a look at the 24-hour temperature change. Up to 15 degrees colder in the Dells, 16 degrees colder in Camp Douglas. Now, earlier, we had temperature changes over 20 degrees colder than that given time yesterday. So right now, the temperature isn't as far off from yesterday as it was this afternoon. As I mentioned, we are seeing a little bit of a wind, but not too bad right now. Most of the wind speeds under 10 miles per hour, but the wind speeds are expected to pick up during the afternoon tomorrow and Monday. Here's a look at Doppler track. Very light showers across our area, some snow in the northern portion of the state. We are going to see some more consistent rainfall and even consistent snowfall during the later overnight hours, but likely not going to happen until after sunrise. So most of tonight we'll see on and off showers. Not going to see a ton tonight. We are going to see that possible mix later in the night into the morning hours tomorrow, but the low temperatures will be in the upper 30s. Highs tomorrow will be even colder than today, and the wind is also going to be a lot worse. I'll have the details later in the show.
Jacob, thank you. Continuing our coverage out of the train derailment near DeSoto, 3rd District Representative Derek Van Orden held a meeting with officials today. In the crash, 4 BNSF crew members were taken to a hospital, treated for minor injuries, and later released. The derailed train cars were removed yesterday. Van Orden says he was in Stoddard last week and spoke with BNSF Railroad, who assured him the tracks were safe amid record flooding.
Thursday, these trains shot off the rails and wound up in the Mississippi River. So 1 week ago, I was assured by the BNSF Railroad that they're taking all the precautions they could to make sure that this wouldn't happen, and it did.
During the meeting today, Van Orden spoke with officials at all levels to discuss what can be done going forward. There is a federal investigation into what caused this derailment. Well, after a black bear was spotted in Mount Horeb yesterday, we find another one today, this time taking a snooze in a precarious place right in the middle of residential Madison. McKenna Alexander has that story.
On the southwest side of Madison, a few neighborhood birds and squirrels have been temporarily pushed out of their home by the most surprising of guests.
Well, I have a bear in a tree, apparently.
On Saturday, a black bear spent several hours halfway up this residential tree, where it snoozed on a wide branch.
We had been out all day, and our neighbor called us and said, "You have a black bear in your backyard." And sure enough, when we got back, there was a black bear in our backyard.
While the bear caught up on sleep, Madison police stood by as a small neighborhood crowd gathered to watch in disbelief, surprised to see an animal that's very uncommon in southern Wisconsin.
I'm more amused by the crowd of people that have come to see the bear, but it's kind of cool. You don't see it very often. We've seen, the odd deer or turkey, but nothing ever this big for sure.
And while the bear's backyard host may not have expected company this weekend, he's still amused by the furry visitor.
It's kind of entertaining, right? He's just up in the tree, looks really comfortable there, and so haven't felt scared or anything, and we don't have pets, so we don't have to worry.
After consulting with the State Department of Natural Resources, police say they will not forcefully remove the bear, instead allowing it to leave the area on its own.
Just leave it alone, and it will leave when it's ready to leave, so just stay out of the backyard, and he'll move along, I'm sure.
In Madison, 4 News 3 Now, this is McKenna Alexander.
And right now, it's unclear if this is the same bear that was seen in the Mount Horeb area. Well, today's gloomy weather sure didn't stop thousands of athletes from getting out for the 41st annual Crazy Legs Classic. The 8K run or 2-mile walk started at Library Mall and ended at Camp Randall Stadium, where the Crazy Legs Block Party was also held. It all raises money for the university's athletics department, and officials said it was no surprise that the little clouds and chill didn't deter the massive Badger crowd.
Badger fans are hardy. Badger fans love to support, and we're so appreciative and grateful of all the support that we get.
3 Badger loyalists are credited for coming up with the event at a campus bar in late 1981. And meanwhile, the feet were moving over at Winnequa Park in Monona for the 2nd annual Gigi Fit Acceptance Challenges Dash for Down Syndrome. The event raises funds to keep Gigi's Playhouse programs free for the 460 families the Down Syndrome Achievement Center serves.
People are happy. It's so much fun. It's just such a way to celebrate acceptance. That's why we're here. We're teaching people what the Down syndrome community is all about, and that's really so important to us. That's what we do at Gigi's, is change the way the world views Down syndrome.
More than 500 people registered this year, and organizers say they raised over $55,000. And today, dozens of rowers from across the Midwest took to the waters of Lake Wingra. Camp Randall Rowing Club says their spring invite is one of the first region-wide regattas to take place in a while. But it's good for rowers to not only get back on the water, but do so with their teams.
I think of rowing as one of the ultimate team sports. It requires you to be in complete sync with a lot of people. And you spend a lot of time with these people, so you build really strong relationships with the people around you.
Now, weather was something organizers had to keep a watch on today. They say if the waves started whitecapping, they'd have to cancel that event. Well, grab your lactate and fire up your skillet. Chefs in the city of Dodgeville were cheesing hard for the 10th annual Grilled Cheese Championship. And what better way to celebrate Wisconsin dairy farmers than seeing what you can do with cheese, 2 pieces of bread, and your imagination. And as participants found, there were some Gouda ideas and some that were not so great.
The grilled cheese competition, they had the quail eggs. Out there somewhere, there's a mother quail wondering whatever happened to her little ones. And I guess she has sacrificed them for the reputation and the advancement of the city of Dodgeville.
And some of the judges were real cheese monsters, like News 3 Now's very own Leah Lynchay, Josh Sprider, and of course, Brady Mallory there chowing down. A suspected tornado has left quite a bit of damage behind in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. That's coming up. Plus, Jacob has your Foxcast after this.
Are record high energy and water costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With inflation rising at record levels and incomes not keeping pace, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive. While you may not ask for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to be without heat, water, or power. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.heat.help.
We so amazing.
The stylish Chevy Equinox RS. And Chevy Blazer RS.
So captivating.
You don't have to be an influencer to be an influencer.
The crowd go crazy.
The RS family of Chevy SUVs. Definitely worth a follow. Well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Equinox models. Or get $1,500 cash allowance. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
Need life insurance? SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And SelectQuote found his wife, Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
How do we decide what hotel to book? Fear not.
I got you. Choice Hotels has a hotel for every type of stay. Like a comfort with the kiddos.
Spacious.
That's what they all say. Stay twice and get a $50 gift card when you book direct at choicehotels.com.
Community is helping each other, making sure your neighbor is taken care of. At Lake Ridge Bank, community is who we are. We take pride in being a community bank, strengthening relationships and investing in the places we come from. It's why we are who we are. Lake Ridge Bank. Go far, go together.
Show us your weather photos, and you could win a First Warn weather umbrella. Send us your weather pics in an email or on the First Warn weather app. We'll select and showcase the winning entries each day on News 3 Now This Morning and News 3 Now at 6. Send in your pics to win a First Warn weather umbrella today.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Another mass shooting has left multiple people dead. Police in Texas say a man gunned down 5 people from a nearby house after he was asked to stop firing rounds. The FBI is helping authorities in the search for that suspected gunman. Authorities also released the names of the victims. Grace White reports from Cleveland, Texas.
Authorities in Texas say a man armed with an AR-style rifle shot and killed 5 neighbors, including an 8-year-old child. All of the victims are said to be from Honduras. The San Jacinto County Sheriff says a manhunt for the 38-year-old suspect, Francisco Oropeza, continued into Saturday.
The tracking dogs from Texas Department of Corrections picked up the scent, and then they lost that scent in the water or whatever.
We will be here until we are no longer needed, to include when the subject is arrested.
The deadly violence started in the town of Cleveland, about 45 miles north of Houston, before midnight Friday. According to authorities, the family had asked the suspect to stop firing rounds just before the attack.
A gentleman stepped out of his house, said, "Hey, we're trying to keep an infant to bed," and he says it's his property. He'll do whatever he pleases on his property. The man went back in the house. Next thing they know, he's walking up the driveway with the rifle in hand.
When I heard the shooting, we were in bed, and my kids, I have 2 babies, they got scared. But we're like, well, it's normal. They're always shooting.
The sheriff said 10 people were inside the home and no one else was hurt. It's believed the suspect was intoxicated at the time and ran toward a heavily wooded forest a few miles away. Grace White for CBS News, Cleveland, Texas.
Texas has suffered several mass shootings in recent years, including last year's attack at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde and a racist attack at an El Paso Walmart in 2019. Next to the conflict in Ukraine, the United States is now evacuating its private citizens. The State Department confirms the first convoy to take private citizens out of the war-torn country arrived in Port Sudan today. The convoy traveled from Khartoum to the port. Some relatives of those initially trapped in the conflict say the United States should have acted sooner.
None of these people want to be in a war zone. None of these people want to have their kids' lives endangered or their loved ones in harm's way. And yet the United States government evacuated 70 diplomats on 3 helicopters and left the rest to rot.
The citizens who arrived at the port will now travel on to Saudi Arabia and will either stay or head to a final destination. A State Department spokesman says the United States has reached out to its citizens in Sudan and has offered to help anyone who wants to leave the country. Pope Francis thanked Hungarians on Saturday for welcoming Ukrainian refugees and urged them to help anyone in need. On his second day in Budapest, Francis met with refugees and poor people at St. Elizabeth's Church. Francis praised the church for welcoming refugees. Hungary's conservative populist prime minister has implemented firm anti-immigration policies and refused to accept many asylum seekers trying to enter the country through its southern border. Yet while the government has consistently rejected asylum seekers from the Middle East and Africa, those fleeing the war in Ukraine have been met with open doors. New at 10, a suspected tornado has left quite a bit of damage behind in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. When the storm raced through the area today, strong winds toppled cars, trees, and power lines. Some homes also had their roofs blown off. So far, no reports of any injuries, and parts of Palm Beach County were under a tornado warning a short time before the suspected twister hit. All right, now let's get a look at your first warn forecast with Jacob Madison.
Well, at least we're not going to see any severe weather, but we have plenty of issues to deal with on our own. We're going to continue to see some showers, especially developing during the early morning hours tomorrow. And then we are going to see very chilly temperatures, maybe even borderline cold temperatures with high temperatures in the 40s. And that's pretty close to the average low that we normally see for this time of year. We're also going to be very windy with sustained winds of 15 to 25 miles per hour. Wind gusts could reach up to 40, maybe even 45 miles per hour. Current radar is showing very light rain. We're not really seeing a ton across our region right now. We are going to see more rain and snow move into our area during the overnight hours, but the heaviest probably won't impact our area until after sunrise tomorrow. But throughout the late morning and early afternoon, we're going to continue to see some rain and snow for tomorrow, especially western counties. Madison and places to the west will see the most precipitation tomorrow, and then Monday it'll be to the east of Madison. But as we go throughout the afternoon Sunday, we are going to continue to see some rain and snow showers. It could potentially snow throughout the entire day for some, but we're not expecting to see any accumulation. The ground is just too warm. We are going to see a brief break from the precipitation during the evening on Sunday, but then more precipitation will move into our area Sunday night into Monday. As I mentioned, by the time we get to Monday, the heaviest precipitation will be to the east of Madison, but both days, don't be surprised if our entire area sees at least some kind of precipitation, whether it be rain or snow. Monday morning, we're going to continue to see the snowfall. It will then transition to rain again as temperatures start to warm up, but once again, we're not going to see any accumulation. Light rain and snow could continue throughout the day on Monday, but then finally by Tuesday, we will see the rain and snow clear out of our area. Now, we also are going to see some pretty gusty winds, as I mentioned. Tomorrow, the wind gusts could reach up to 30, maybe 35 miles per hour. Not too bad to the east of Madison, especially along the lake. And this is just tomorrow, I want to mention, but it is going to be pretty gusty off to the west. But for those of you to the east that won't be seeing the gusty winds Sunday, you will be seeing the gusty winds on Monday, as pretty much our entire area will see wind gusts anywhere from 40 to 45 miles per hour at times. No wind advisory is in effect. I don't expect it to. Usually the gusts have to reach up to 55 miles per hour, so we're not going to see that, but still very windy. And on top of the temperatures, the wind chills may actually be in the 20s. And this is the first day of May we're talking about. And windy conditions will continue for Tuesday, and they will slowly get better throughout next week. Now, here's a look at the precipitation forecast. Like I mentioned, we're not going to see a ton of rainfall. It's not going to be very heavy at any given time, but around a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain is possible in Madison. We could see more rain, maybe up to an inch to the northeast, not so much to the southwest, which is good news considering the situation right now still on the Mississippi River. So here's a look at futurecast. Tomorrow, the high temperatures are only going to be in the lower 40s. Scattered showers, chilly and windy. And that's going to be kind of a rinse and repeat for Monday, unfortunately. Tuesday, we could see some lingering rain, but not going to be too bad. Highs will be in the 50s on Tuesday. Then they're going to be in the 60s for Wednesday, and the 60s will continue throughout much of next week, even though it will be in the lower 60s for Friday and Saturday. Still a lot better than today, tomorrow, and Monday. And then we are going to see temperatures potentially near 70 to start the week beyond that. So it is looking very nice after the next couple of days. And I also want to let everyone know that you have the chance to win a free First Warn Weather umbrella. Here's how it all works. All you have to do is submit your personal weather pictures to firstwarn@WISC-TV.com. The link is right there on the screen, or you can submit it through the weather app. Now, these can be pictures of snow, rain, hail, or any other kind of weather-related photos. The weather team here will then select a photo, and whoever's picture is selected will win a First Warn Weather umbrella. We are giving away several umbrellas, so there are multiple chances to win. We will announce a new winner every weekday at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. starting May 8th. Once again, if you would like to submit your personal weather photo, send them to firstwarn@WISC-TV.com or through the weather app.
There we go. That would be a cool, cool present to give. Yeah, and
maybe there could be some like accumulation on the grass. It could be a winner of the photo competition. Just a thought.
There we go. All right. Thanks so much, Jacob. And when Brewers got back-to-back wins, could they make it 3 straight? Jordan has highlights of their game with the Angels next.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Dear Exit Strategy, all your pieces are in place. Thanks for being there when I need you most. Always Toyota SUVs. Toyota. Let's go places.
There are so many things we take for granted. So many things. And along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for their survival for granted too. The elderly, disabled, the veterans, people on limited and fixed incomes, or folks that lost jobs in sectors hardest hit during the pandemic. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? Some people just can't come back. And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind, struggling to keep their heat, water, and power on. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our heat, water, and power providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. Call today for free information.
Call 800-550-5543.
Hang on tight, Wisconsin, because fun just got a lot faster. It's Fast Play from the Wisconsin Lottery, an all-new style of lotto games that combine instant wins with the progressive jackpot. Playing is easy at any lottery retailer. Just print, play, and know if you're a winner instantly. The progressive jackpot starts at $10,000 and grows with each ticket sold. The share of the jackpot increases with the price of the ticket. Fast Play is available now, only at Wisconsin Lottery retailers.
With Allegra, allergies don't hold us back. Allegra starts working 2 times faster than Claritin. And unlike Zyrtec, it won't make us drowsy, so you can live your greatness. And Allegra Hives works from the inside to relieve itching and reduce hives for 24 hours.
Join the Circle of Life at the Lion King. Experience the world's #1 musical. Don't miss your chance to see The Lion King, one of the most awe-inspiring productions ever brought to life on stage.
Coming to Overture Center May 11th through 28th. Tickets on sale now at overture.org.
Dear Exit Strategy, all your pieces are in place. Thanks for being there when I need you most. Always Toyota SUVs. Toyota. Let's go places.
Wisconsin
Wisconsin football is about to have a reunion in Pittsburgh as Nick Herbig has his name called by the Steelers in the 4th round of the NFL draft. This comes one day after fellow teammate Keanu Benton was drafted by the Steelers. Herbig put together an impressive junior campaign where he led the Big Ten in tackles for loss with 15.5, while also recording 47 tackles, 11 sacks with 2 forced fumbles. While he joins a slate of former UW standouts such as Benton, TJ, and Derek Watt, Herbig will also be reunited with his older brother, Nate, who signed with the Steelers this offseason. And with the 2023 draft officially in the books, it's time to bring on undrafted free agency. And landing with the Texans tonight is Wisconsin offensive lineman Tyler Beach. Packers taking care of both sides of the ball on the final day of the draft. 4th round, they select Auburn defensive lineman Colby Wooden, who recorded 15 sacks, 29.5 tackles for loss over 3 seasons. He also led the Tigers with 3 forced fumbles last fall. 5th round, the Packers go offense first, taking Penn State quarterback Sean Clifford. Clifford threw over 10,000 yards with 86 scores and 31 interceptions during his college career. Also in the 5th round, the Pack take Virginia wide receiver Dontavion Wicks. He had 30 catches for 430 yards with 2 scores in 2022. In the 6th round, they take Bowling Green defensive lineman Carl Brooks and Auburn kicker Anders Carlson. And in the 7th, Kentucky cornerback Carrington Valentine, Central Michigan running back Lou Nichols, Virginia safety Anthony Johnson Jr., and Charlotte wideout Grant DeBose. Corbin Burns has accomplished a lot in his career, but tonight he did something he hasn't done before. Face his childhood team. That's right, being from SoCal, Burns grew up an Angels fan, and for the first time in his career, he's pitching against them. And it's a solid outing. 6 innings of work, 5 hits, 5 strikeouts, and only allows 1 run. And at the plate, the Brewers got after it early. Joey Weimer opened up scoring in the 3rd. The crew put up a 3 spot, and then they're going to plate 4 more runs in the 5th to win this one 7-5. They've got the series locked up. Now they're going to go for that sweep tomorrow. First pitch is at 1:10. Doubleheader Saturday for Wisconsin softball. Game 1 with Maryland. It's a pitcher's duel. Scoreless in the 7th. The Badgers have the bases juiced, and Katie Keller comes up with the big hit. A sac fly drives in the one and only run of this game. Maddie Schwartz has a complete game shutout. Finishes with just 5 hits, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. But UW drops the 2nd game, so the rubber match in Maryland is set for tomorrow at 1. 2nd round of the Insperity Invitational. Steve Stricker is up 1 spot on the leaderboard. Drains his 3rd birdie of the day right there on 17. He's currently tied for 5th and 5 shots off the lead. Steven Alker still sits atop the board at 9 under overall.
No bunker shots there.
No. Well, actually, that was a bunker shot. It was. It's okay. It was a bunker shot, and then he got birdie because he was up on the green. And so, yes.
Birdie. I don't know that one either.
You know what? It's okay. Yeah. It's a learning process. It's fine.
There we go.
A for effort. Always A for effort. It's called A for effort.
Appreciate that, Jordan. Thank you.
No problem.
We'll be right back.
It's the Hy-Vee Red Hot Weekend Sale this Friday through Sunday. Hy-Vee pasta sauce, just 99 cents. That Smart frozen vegetables, just 88 cents. And Hy-Vee yogurt, only 29 cents. Only at Hy-Vee.
This is how legends are made.
Chevy Silverado and new Silverado HD. Choose your own path with the #1 best-selling retail full-size pickup and see where it takes you. Find new roads. It's Chevy truck season. Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2023 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or current Chevy owners get $3,750 total cash allowance on all 2023 Silverado pickups with a turbo high-output engine. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Defeated. You win.
I won.
Want the speed to finally defeat your mortal enemy?
Oh, there he is! I won!
Only Spectrum gives you Speed Boost for the fastest wireless speeds in the palm of your hand. Get game-changing speed with Speed Boost only with Spectrum One.
How do we decide what hotel to book? Fear not.
I got you. Choice Hotels has a hotel for every type of stay. Like a comfort with the kiddos.
Spacious.
That's what they all say. Stay twice and get a $50 gift card when you book direct at choicehotels.com.
And done.
Can we just call my dad now? Gorilla Glue.
Of course.
Gorilla Glue is incredibly strong and versatile, even outdoors. For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Turn on Bionic Spotlight Extreme 360, the motion-activated home defense light that looks just like a security camera. It detects even the slightest motion and automatically triggers 6 ultra-bright LED high beams. Call or go online and order your Bionic Extreme 360 for just $19.99. Plus, get free shipping on your entire order.
To order, call 1-800-501-5956 or go online to buybionic360.com. Call now.
How do we decide what hotel to book? Fear not.
I got you. Choice Hotels has a hotel for every type of stay. Like a comfort with the kiddos.
Spacious.
That's what they all say. Stay twice and get a $50 gift card when you book direct at choicehotels.com.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Non-drowsy Claritin knocks out symptoms from over 200 allergens without knocking you out. Feel the clarity and make today the most wonderful time of the year. Live Claritin Clear.
It's the Hy-Vee Red Hot Weekend Sale this Friday through Sunday. Hy-Vee chicken drumsticks or thighs, 99 cents a pound. Hy-Vee orange or apple juice, 99 cents. And Sweet Celebration seedless grapes, $1.38 a pound. Only at Hy-Vee.
We're exploring The Price of Perfection, Thursday at 6.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Do y'all know there's a difference between llamas and alpacas?
She knew. You
She
didn't.
knew. I didn't. Yeah.
I wasn't. I was indifferent. I think there was, but you seem to know more than we did.
Well, no, I mean, you had asked the question or whatever, and I was like, there definitely is. So we looked it up in between the break. But I guess at this point, you know, everyone's going to be needing an extra layer for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, at least for a couple of days,
Yes.
especially tomorrow, unfortunately. 42 is the forecasted high with scattered showers. We could even see some snowfall. Windy weather on top of that. Monday's going to be a rinse and repeat from tomorrow, but it's going to be a lot better by the middle and end of next week and the start of the week after as well.
Alpaca Fest at the Alliant Energy Center. Go check it out. See you tomorrow night.